Okay, everybody, it doesn't take long to feel like the budget has spiraled, does it? Just when I thought I had it all figured out, everything changes. So, here we go. The first thing I did was get my budget binder and take everything out. I just emptied it. I looked at the pages and I contemplated keeping them, but then I was like, nope, fresh start, just let it go. Okay, so now I am left with my no-buy annual calendar and my debt watch page. Two perfect pieces of paper, right? Well, one is laminated paper, but whatever. This is what got me out of this. So these two pages will always be in my budget binder. So then I did the whole, okay, where do I start thing? And I just sat down. I thought about it for more than a few. Part of me really wanted to get into this and the other part of me didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know, but do I really want to know? I realized that even though I really didn't want to, I had to get the spending written down for August because I can't figure out where I'm going until I see where I've been and what we have already done. Practice what you preach, Jen. So the first thing I did was print my bank statement, and it just came out 2 days ago, and it runs until the 25th. Why they don't just go from the 1st to the end of the month is beyond me. That would be too easy and make too much sense, right? But anyway, I completed all of this, what I'm about to show you today, yesterday on August 27th. So let's go over all of my spending so far for August. Okay, so as I said, this is for the entire month of August so far. We've only got a few days left, and let's see what we have here. We've got the bills totaled $5,106, and I have added some new bills, and I've taken away a few other ones, and I'm going to show you that a little bit later in the video. Groceries, I have two separate categories here. I've got one that says Food Lion, and that was $242. That is all food. Walmart, however, is at $906.22. But as everybody knows, Walmart is more than groceries, right? There's household, and there was a lot of stuff for the RV in there as well. So let's add those together really quick. We've got plus the 906 for Walmart, and that is $1148. And if you subtract my typical $600 grocery budget, that leaves $548. And you know what? I'm going to say that I probably was not that far off from actually staying on budget with the groceries. So I was pretty okay with that, surprisingly enough. Next up, we've got the convenience store stops. That is $265. Now, Jason did quit smoking cigarettes and is using these little pods instead, baby steps. So he was stopping at all of these different places to get those because when he could find them, they really didn't have that many. So we ended up having a lot of little hits all over the bank statement, which I absolutely hate. So while I am glad that he is doing really good with the quitting smoking, I had to find a solution to that. And that leads to the next one, which is Nico Kick or Nicotine Kick. I'm not sure which one it's called. It's some sort of website, and they only sell nicotine products. So I went ahead and bought 50 cans of those things for $160. So no more dinging the card every single day, and that'll really clean up the bank statement, which is the ultimate goal. And you guys say some prayers that he can start cutting back on those soon too. I am very happy about his progress so far. Next up, we have little baby Uhtred, and we spent $319 on him in the month of August. He did get sick, so there was some medicine involved, the vet, and of course he got his new bed. I'm not sure if any of you saw that, but here's a picture of Uhtred with his new bed that he loves so much. And next up is gas. We've got $289 for gas. Takeout is at $91.28. We're definitely going to be fixing this in the month of September. Next up is laundry. That's because we now have to go to a laundromat to do our laundry, and that's $85. And then next up is Emma. We spent $80 on Little Miss Emma for the month of August. She is my youngest daughter. If you are new to the channel, she does not live at home anymore, but you know, when she gets sick, who does she need? Her mama. And mom sent food and some medicine, and we also purchased some oil for her car. So Emma's up to $80. And the last thing is protein powder at $158. So what is the total? It is $7,704.46. And this actually isn't that bad. I'm not really upset about that number, but as you guys see down here at the bottom, things I can change. There are still some things on here that I want to make sure that I do not repeat in the month of September, and they are convenience stores and takeout. And I'm sure you guys already knew that that's exactly what I was going to write down there. I have a personal hatred. That word is so strong, but I really don't like either one of these places. They're just money suckers. So the convenience stores, as I just mentioned, I am already trying to get that out, and I think I did most of it. The takeout, that is just a matter of making sure we've got breakfast and lunch for Jason while he's at work. And I have no doubt that we will be doing better in the month of September, and you heard it here first, so make sure you watch to see, hold me accountable, and if you watch every week, the hope is that it helps you keep accountable too. So let's get everything set back up and just get back to normal life again. Well, as normal as I can get, I guess. Living full-time in an RV 800 miles from home isn't exactly normal. Okay, so I did add a few pages to this budgeting packet, that feeling of like, where is my budget? Where has my money been going? Adding some new bills, being in a new place. I mean, we're basically like living a new life while we're still paying for the other life. It is just a lot to digest. And let me tell you, I know I say this all the time, but it is so freaking true. Writing things down brings a overall sense of peace, a finality to it all. Like, okay, now I know, here it all is. Now I can see it, and I'm going to process it piece by piece in my own way with all of the scribbling and erasing. Now, I will say that I do think about implementing a digital budgeting app sometimes, and I might try to do that for some parts of budgeting to save time and whatever. I'll do that later, but this initial setup and digging through it all, trust me, pen and paper is the way to go. I see things that I know I may have missed, and I definitely am remembering things better. So let's see what we've got in our new packet. So the first page is the table of contents, and of course I'm going to show you every page, so let me just get that out of the way. Okay, now this page is new. This one is just titled Monthly Bills. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. So down here at the bottom it says list your fixed monthly bills with due dates, the amount due, check them off if they are auto pay. That's just like a little reminder, I think, because I know some of my bills are auto pay and some of them aren't. And then you're just going to track when they are paid. So let's go back up here to the top, and I'm going to write all of mine out. I don't know if I'm going to be rewriting this every single month. I might not. I don't know. Knowing me, I will. But let's write all of my bills in order from the first all the way down. Okay, so these are all of my bills, all on one sheet of paper. It's not too bad, right? Let me point out to you the new ones. Let me see. The new bills are the Starlink. That is the Wi-Fi here for the RV. Another new one is lawn service. Obviously, now that we're not home, Jason is not there to cut it any longer, so we had to rehire back the lawn service. And down here, the rent for the RV lot is also a new bill. Down here, you're probably wondering what this is. This is home away checkers. So we have a couple that comes to check on the house. It is very random. They do certain things. So I just kind of wanted to put them here as a note. I don't really know how often they're coming, how often I'm going to be paying them. It just depends. So I just wrote them there so I don't forget. Now you might notice there is no Hulu or Netflix. I canceled both of those services, and I said in a previous video, I don't miss them at all, and I don't. So if you're thinking about canceling either one of those, definitely give it a try. It'll save you, what, $30 at least a month? The other thing that I no longer have and I've canceled is Sam's Club. It was time to renew them, and I just decided, nope, not going to do it. I recently was thinking about all of the different places that charge you for what I call shopping privileges, and Sam's Club is one of them, and I really just don't want to do that anymore. So I canceled them, and anything that I need, I'm just going to get it at Walmart and save my membership fee to Sam's Club. So now that we've got all of the monthly bills written down, and I also have checked off whether they are auto pay or manual, so that is a big help as well. The next thing that I wanted to do was look at bills that are not monthly. They're still fixed bills, but they're not coming out every 30 days. So this page is new to this packet as well. Let's go ahead and fill it out, and then we will talk about it. Okay, actually I'm going to show you these first two before I continue to fill it out, because I feel like these are really good ones to explain this to you. You got the due date here, what the bill is, the amount that is due, is it an auto pay bill, which both of these are, but here's where they both start to differ from each other. Here is when I want to start saving for each of these bills. This one, I'm not going to necessarily save up for it since it's such a small amount. It's only $25. So it's just on here as a reminder to myself that it is due, and it is an every 3-month bill, because a lot of times these are the easy ones to forget, right? These little tiny bills that just ding your checking account out of nowhere. So I wanted to make sure that I have them all on one piece of paper so I can track them. So that's why that one is here. And then the next one is a really good example to show you. It is due on October 10th. It is $199. It is also an auto. And I'm going to start saving for this one with this paycheck that just passed yesterday. So I'm going to have 5 paydays until it's due here, which means I needed to divide this $199 by the 5, and that gives me $40 every paycheck for the next 5 paychecks. I'm going to put away $40, and then here I have a reminder to myself that it's due again in 3 months. So let's go ahead and write the rest of them down, and I will go over those a little bit with you too. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of these so that if you decide to do this as well, it will help you to get yours organized, right? So we've got pest control, which is another new bill. Yay. Obviously, because again, Jason is not there at home to do it. So that really sucks. Another $95 a month, but somebody's got to do it, right? So we've got the pest control. It is auto. Again, it's such a small amount, $95, that I'm not really going to save up over time for it. I'm just going to leave it there and know that it's due every 3 months. The next one is the vehicle tag renewal. They total $215. I've decided I'm going to start saving for these on the paycheck October 1st. I'll have 9 paydays to save up for it until the due date. So I'll be putting away $25 each paycheck. All four of these are our phone bills. They all kind of come out at different times, which kind of sucks, except for me and Jason's mom. We are together, so that's why I have it kind of big here in the middle. And then down here, these things aren't due until April of 2026 and September of 2026. I actually just paid this the other day. So I haven't really filled these out quite yet. I'm just more concerned with the ones up here at the top, and those are taken care of. So now that I have all of these written down and I know when everything's due, I felt so much better after doing this, you guys. This was probably the biggest thing that was kind of weighing on me. It's done. But now that I have this done, the next thing that I want to have is the calendar. And this is so I can see everything at once, when it is due, alongside the paydays. It just makes it so much easier to have this in the budget binder as opposed to looking at those two long lists, right? It's just easier to have it, just like it says, at a glance. So let's go ahead and fill this out. Okay, so I've got the month of September all filled out and ready to go. And the only thing that you really need to remember to do is to take a look at this and make sure that you're writing down anything that's due for the month of September, which is only this one. And I do have it written down over here where it goes. Now I'd like to highlight these, but I have not gotten my highlighters yet. So I will show you next week. Believe me, I'm not going to highlight this without you. I do have a cushion of 1 month ahead in my checking account, but I'm going to act like I don't, right? We don't want to get too comfortable. Comfort is what did this, right? So we don't want to get too comfortable. I sometimes do that. If you've been following for a while, you have probably seen me at certain points. I'll realize like I'm getting too lax on something, and I'm usually pretty good at catching myself, and I will end up going back to the basics. So I keep the routines because it's going to help you keep the money. So if I didn't have the month ahead money, I would be working my checks, the due dates, and the amounts so that it all works out in a way where like 1 week I don't have $200 left and another week I'm in the negative $50. And I actually show you guys how to do this on my true story videos. If you've never seen one, I'm going to put one here and I will put them in the description below if you want to watch one of those later. But basically, my month ahead money, it just sits. It's a buffer just in case, God forbid, we were short due to whatever, like illness, right? I don't know. It just gives us time to adjust back to consistent paychecks. Okay, so next up we have the budget sheet, and let's see what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, so this is what we have after the retirement, healthcare, all that is done. And I'm not going to be putting in my income because it is completely haywire right now. It is completely changed since coming to Virginia. So I'm going to need a couple months to get a base pay on myself. And I'm not even going to include it into our budget for now because this is the only consistent pay that we have going right now. As I said, I am 1 month ahead on bills, and that is a stress reliever, right? And since that's there, I have a set amount each payday that I deposit, and that stays and sits to keep that month ahead alive, right? And that amount has changed because our bills have changed. As I showed you a little bit ago, we've added some, we've taken some away. So my weekly amount that goes from every paycheck for our bills, it is always the same, and it is $12.50, and that's already gone. If you want to know more about getting a month ahead, how to do it, and all of that, I do have a video here that you can watch, and of course I will also link it in the description below for you so you can watch it after this video. Okay, so now that I've got the $12.50, and that is gone, that leaves us with $625 for all of our variable expenses, our sinking funds, and our savings, and even some savings challenges for fun things like Christmas and self-care. So the $625 is going to be on this sheet in my next video, and I'm going to show you where it goes. We will go over all of that. And then the next thing is the cash planning. This will be filled out on the next video as well. And honestly, this is the fun part, taking this money that is left after the bills and making sure it doesn't get wasted or pissed away, as my dad used to say. Another way to make sure I'm not pissing away our money is these. The spending tracker that I showed you earlier. And if you are new, I track everything. Here are a couple of the pages from the binder. And as you can see, I literally have everything written out. Coconut water, coconut soap, markers, arrowroot, air filters. I know where everything goes. And I don't do that to be extreme, I guess is a good word. I'm not trying to be extreme by doing this. I do this so that I'm not asking myself later on, where is my money going? And we all do that, don't we? We all say, oh my God, where is my paycheck? Where did it all go? So this eliminates that. You're answering your question right here on this piece of paper. So make sure you hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss any new videos. You can follow along with me. And of course, the idea is to hopefully give you ideas on how you can do your own budget. Maybe you've never actually written down all of your bills and now you want to. Or you have never actually saved ahead of time for any of your larger bills, and now you think that might be your next goal. I have more ideas, believe me, so I hope you join the hive and hit subscribe. So let's go over the rest of this packet. Okay, so this one is who do I owe, and this is where you're going to write down every creditor that you have. This is basically a snowball sheet for you guys. It says list debts from the smallest balance to the largest balance. So you'll put your smallest debt here and you'll work your way down. And then this is going to be the order that you pay them off, aka the snowball method. The next page is the no more payments, which is part of this one. You're going to take that smallest debt that you wrote here and you're going to focus on it on this page. You're going to write the name of the creditor right here. And you're going to write down the extra payment that you've made to them, if there's any interest that has accrued in the meantime, and then your new balance will go here. And you just keep doing it until it's completely paid off. And then you'll go back to this page and go to your second smallest creditor and start one of these over. The next page is your no-buy, and I have said this a million times on this channel. The no-buy challenge is what everybody needs to be doing. If you are in any kind of debt, you need to be on a no-buy challenge. And I've put a calendar in here for you. You can put your own rules down here at the bottom and keep track of how many no-buy and how many buy days you have in the month. And then we've got the $1,000 emergency fund. I do follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and step number 1 is to save your $1,000 emergency fund. And what better way to do that than to be on a no-buy challenge? So I have that in here for you. And then this is the back of your binder. Okay, so here it is, all set up in my trusty binder. Yesterday, I was thinking about getting one of those 11 ring happy planner binders. I really did want one, and I had my sister on the phone. She was helping me pick out all the stuff. But you guys, once it was all in the cart, the total, oh my God, no, I could not do it. I already have this, it works. I think it looks fine, right? It looks pretty cute, so I'm okay with this. So I thought to myself, my birthday's coming up in October. Maybe I'll get the happy planner stuff then, who knows? But, okay, the budget is back and I feel so much less stressed out now that I can actually see what is going on. This packet is on Etsy for you guys. I linked it below. If you have purchased this within the last 30 days, don't worry. Just message me on Etsy. Give me a good email address for you, and I will send this newer version to you for free. And if you are going to buy it for the first time, be sure to use the code SIMPLIFY50 for 50% off. So for $5, and there is no end date on that code. It is good forever for my YouTube watchers. I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, I also have a free version of a beginner budget. It does have let me show you really quick. It's got the budget sheet. It's got a cash planning sheet. It has a no buy challenge tracker. It has the $1,000 emergency fund tracker. And this is a spending tracker. This is from another video where I was showing this. So this is always available for free as well. This is in the Ko-fi shop. I'm going to link it below for you guys. I am still working on getting all of my trackers and savings challenges switched to digital downloads on Etsy for you guys. I'll have them all done as soon as I possibly can. I don't know, I might be able to work on some of that this weekend. And the 1st is coming up, so that means new stuff for my VIB members. I went with a book/library theme for you guys for the month of September, and I'm going to show you really quick what I did come up with. We've got 2 tinies right here. You'll save $25 with this one, and this one is random because you're going to be using your dice. And you've got 2 A6 mini challenges. This one is called Treat Yourself, and this one is called Treat Your Shelf. So you'll have these for the VIBs, and the last thing is a bookmark for your books, and it just says just one more page. And of course, I always have a freebie for everyone. So this will be up on September 1st for everybody to download this one. And as I said, this one's for the VIBs. This is $5 a month. And on the 1st of every month, I put in some new challenges for you guys. And these challenges are not on Etsy or anywhere else. So only VIBs are getting these. Now, while you're over on Ko-fi, I also have this Christmas packet for you guys. This is $1. Yes, your girl thinks of everything. I want you guys to succeed in all things budgeting and saving and paying debt and even being prepared for Christmas, because it is all tied together. There is actually a video that goes with this. I go over each page with you. Christmas is not that far away, you guys. I know I'm probably giving you anxiety, so watch that. You'll feel better. I'm going to link it right here. You really can start planning for the holidays early this year. I promise. Click it. I'm trying to help you.